viewers, this is Jade, and welcome back for another Journal with Me episode. And here I am in October, towards the end, like the 29th or 30th, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's what I'm recording. It is actually currently April 28th when I'm doing this voiceover. But anyway, I am documenting the finale of House of the Dragon because the show was just freaking epic. It was so good, and I enjoyed it from start to finish. And I actually ended up reading the book that this prequel to Game of Thrones was based on, and I love the way that George wrote it because it's kind of written less as, even though it is a novel, it's written less as a novel and more as an accounting of history. And so you have several different points of views and people pulling from different accounts and papers and stuff like that. So the way the story is told is quite interesting to me, and I really, really loved it. And so I was definitely, I started reading the book, I think, during or right before the show started airing. I want to say it was during, though. And anyway, moving on. So it was time for me to do this layout, and I really did not know how I wanted to do this in my head. So your creative studio unboxing was like right on time because they do have a lot of a vintagey type feel to their products and ephemera and stuff like that. And if any show needs vintage feel, it is definitely these House of the Dragons, Game of Thrones type shows, because they are fictionally, like, way, way back in the day with the castles and dragons and moats and all of that kind of foolishness. And you have to travel by horseback and or walking or boats. All of that kind of stuff. So it was definitely appropriate for this spread. So I pulled a few of the items out, as you can see, and have decided to use that as like the backgrounds and backdrops for my pictures and how I want to create this spread. And I really love the way that it ends up. And I basically am focusing on like I said, the finale. So the very last episode of the season. Oh my god, it was so good. I'm trying to remember because, as I said, I'm doing this voiceover in April, and this finale was like back in October of last year. What I do remember, I can tell you, is that the episode kind of came full circle as far as Rhaenyra, because in the first episode her mother was pregnant and about to give birth, and she told her that that was her duty as well, that her battles would be in the birthing bed, or I can't remember exactly the phrase that she used, but something similar to that. And Renee was like, I ain't here for none of that, really. Like, I think she understood that eventually that it would have been her duty, but that's not what she really wanted for herself or her life. And she is indeed pregnant in this finale, very pregnant, and she does have her battle with the birth bed. Now, she has successfully given birth a few times, a few times before this. However, she loses this battle, and it was on the threshold of getting news about her father, and then what her brother and quote unquote best friend did as far as usurping her. It was a mess, okay? And I just felt so bad for her. And then so she's dealing with the loss of her child, and then also you have Damon. And I love the way they portrayed Damon in this episode as well, because you could see, I mean, it was very small moments that I caught, but you could see the way that he carried his grief in his shoulders. It was just excellent. Like, the whole thing, the way it was shot, the cinematography, the acting was absolutely impeccable. Excuse me for all of the sniffing. The allergies got me out here struggling, okay? I need to find something to take. I know I got some Zyrtec or something here somewhere. But anyway, moving on. So yeah, it was just so good. So well done. And I'm really, really, really hoping I have not, not gotten myself sucked into a new Game of Thronesy show only to be disappointed in the end. Please do not do this to me again. Moving on. So as I said, sorry, I'm hitting my headphones here. Anyway, moving on. So as I said, I'm by this time, by the finale, I have completely read the entire book, so I know what happens. And of course, there are changes. There are a few changes from book to show that has to be done. But there was one scene that they absolutely kept, and even though I knew what was going to happen, when I saw the shadow of Vagar just triple time eclipsing that of the baby dragon. I don't even remember his name, but Luke was the writer of, which is Rhaenyra's son, the baby dragon, and one of the greens. What was that? What was his name? I can't remember right now. But he is Vagar's writer, and yeah. As soon as I saw, as you can see up there in the right corner, the shadow of the big dragon over the little dragon there, yeah, my heart dropped into my stomach so fast, and I was like, oh my god. And so I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to continue. Uh, I'm not going to go any further as far as explaining what happens, just in case anybody decides that they have not watched the show, but they want to watch the show or they want to read the book or whatever. So I won't spoil anything, but whoo, that was a scene right there. And then Rhaenyra's face at the end was just like, buckle up, okay? It's finna be on and popping. So we are really about to get into the Dance of Dragons in House of the Dragon, and I am here for it. I am so ready for the second season, even though I think they said it will not be ready until like the 2024 or something like that. Anyway, that pretty much wraps this up. If you have any comments or questions about anything, please leave those below. Hope you all have been safe and well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!